another project here using the Good Old Days Comeback collection kit that we did with Studio Calico, the collaboration. And I'm playing on this one. I've got a big 12 by 12 photo. I've got a bunch of punched out 3-inch and 3.5-inch circles that are photos of the girls. I'm gonna do a title that says Be You. And then I just printed out a bunch of different a bunch of different photos of them 4x6 size, and then was able to punch them into these circles. So definitely wanting to play around with the idea of being you, you be you, right? When you've got two girls that are the exact same age, they're just a couple months apart here in our blended family, it's super important to make sure that they get to have their own identity, right? And have their own, get to do their own things, get to be their own person, but then they also have all of these cool experiences and opportunities to be together. So I'm starting with this. I punched out some of one of the pattern papers that I've used in another layout. So I'm kind of thinking of just doing a big combination of circles. You punched photo circles, probably some punched pattern circles. This is some of the other patterns. These are the ones that I feel myself gravitating to the most. They're probably do one that could be at the top. And then I'm also thinking, I have a few other products that I've had that I've been wanting to use on something, and I'm just kind of pulling out some of these things, laying them there. We'll see what I end up using. Also thinking about using that cork piece right there, and this may get all changed up. It may, I might put it into a different thing. I also thought about cutting this in half and adding to the bottom of that. I kind of like that idea too. I don't know, it just seemed like something fun to play around with. The other two products that I have, one is this sticker, a puffy sticker set that is from American Crafts, I believe, and I'll try to see if we have this or get a link for you. And I've had these sitting around because it's all like kind of girl power thing. And so I'm considering adding some of these in, and I'm gonna cut them out with the backing on here so that I can kind of play around with where they would go. Do you want to see the pictures of you guys? Audrey and Anna are here in the office. Hi. There's just some different ones of you guys over the years.
What is that one?
Isn't that one funny? This is like my favorite. It's hilarious. You're both wearing Shopkins shirts, and you're giving me like, the evil eye kind of thing.
I'm guessing it was not like actually.
No, I don't think it was that you guys were actually mad at me. I think it was just funny.
What is that?
That is like we went camping a long time ago.
Oh, for spring break?
Yeah, like you
I
guys.
also really like. I like that one too.
Yeah, that was when we just went recently. Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, that one's cute too. You know what I like about that one is that the rainbow goes into each of your heads. That's what I like.
Wait, it looks like she's walking on water. It looks like Anna's walking on water.
Yeah, because her feet are right there. I'm kind of thinking about this one too. Yeah.
And you're just standing in the water.
I like that picture. I think that's fun too. Okay, so I'm thinking about incorporating these three, just, fun other additional things in here, right? Some other things that would go along with all this stuff. So again, not sure on where all the placement is going to be yet. They're laughing about that there's a Barbie by the pool that I'm assuming you guys brought.
Yeah. I remember that we brought Barbies.
Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
that was a while ago.
Yeah, that's what some of these are like, from like 2012, 2014. So yeah, that's a while ago. Yeah. Okay. You guys got anything else you wanted to say while you're standing right here? No? Okay.
You're good at collages.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
What does that say?
What?
That.
It says be you.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking beautiful, and I'm like,
Be you. The other thing that I have over here is a pattern paper that is from crepe paper, and this may be also, these ones may have been from crepe paper too. Like I said, I just have them in my stash. I really liked this pattern itself. This is a Maggie Holmes one, and I kind of was thinking about cutting one of these out, but this may be enough, and I can save this for something else. That was a fun pattern paper also. Like I said, it's been in my stash waiting, but I think I would rather use these ones here, because I think that that's kind of a fun collection of things to add. Okay, so what I need to do now, I do want to have a little bit of journaling on here, so I think that I will do some sort of a circle with some journaling on it. Maybe even that would go in this half circle shape, maybe right there, and then I'll come back and kind of reorganize this, because none of this is laying down yet. We have, we'll let it wait just a second. All right, so I'll pop back on here after I have a little bit of journaling done. Okay, so what I did here is I decided to just go ahead and I did a little bit of journaling. That's just something about how when Aaron and I met, it was so super exciting to learn that he had a daughter that was the same age as Anna. You know, obviously not knowing anything about how it was all going to turn out, it was still exciting. I mean, they're born just a couple months apart. So that's what I wrote on this part here. And then what I decided to do, since the girls were here, in the office and around, I think I'm just going to set that right on there. And then that can probably, we'll just have that be the O. I'm still trying to decide whether I want to split that. Anyway, so what I did was I had Anna, I asked Anna to tell me what she likes about Audrey. And so she said she's funny and she's really fun to play with, and even when we get in fights a couple minutes later, it's easy for us to just start talking again. She's very kind. Super nice. So we're just gonna make this and we're gonna put it over on this spot, and then Audrey's in the shower right now. So when she gets out of the shower, then we'll have her do the same thing about Anna. So that's a fun way and a fun reminder just of that opportunity to include other voices from your family when you are doing projects. I'm gonna see where we want all these to go. You know, to ask them for journaling. And like, you don't have to come up with all the journaling yourself all the time. That's part of what I think is fun about having other people in our lives, right? Is being able to ask them. Okay, and to get their input. All right, so I'm gonna wait until Audrey's out of the shower so that we can add that in there. And just kind of playing around again with like where do I want things to go? All right, so here's the one then from Audrey, and Audrey said, I like that Anna's very active, just like me. We love to do Just Dance together, and I'm happy to have her as a sister, and without her, I'd be so bored. Actually, I'm going to reprint this one, though, because I forgot a parentheses. All right, so moving right along, this layout was really a lot about just trying stuff out and moving things around, and a lot of times when I'm doing a page, I approach it more from a more structured standpoint, meaning I, would have the circles lined up, or it would have a different kind of a flow. This one ended up being a little bit different than that, and I liked it and I embraced it for that. I literally considered like having no white space or no white, traditionally we would call those gutters, right? The spaces in between those circle punched pictures. I thought about just punching out a whole bunch of pattern papers and adding it to the background. And then I bagged that idea for no other reason because I just wanted to keep going with it. And I like seeing some of the white. So I think it's a good reminder that you don't always have to there's just not a right or a wrong way to do things. And I say that all the time. But even for myself, it's a good reminder of that things can be a little messier and they don't have to be super structured. Here you can see what I'm doing is starting to adhere the chipboard pieces down. I cut that U in half because I did want to have that spread over the 2 pages. I decided not to have the circles, the photos spread over the 2 pages, and you'll see that here in a minute. So my process, once I kind of felt like I had things generally where I wanted them to be, is literally doing what I'm doing right now, which is adding a little bit of adhesive to at least the bottom pieces, the bottom circles. And so obviously some of those circles are underneath and other ones are on top. The ones with the journaling from the girls, those have foam dots on them, so they get lifted up a little bit off the back of the page. But pretty much what I'm doing is just going around and trying to at least temporarily adhere or just do a little bit of adhesive in case I still wanted to move things around. But I basically started at the top and am kind of adhering things going down the page. That way I can kind of see how it is developing as it goes. And even when I say that, then I kind of move in and probably adhere something down on the bottom. It's a lot of just moving things around. And once I have something in a spot where I like it, like I liked that heart, the plastic heart on top of the punched circle. But then I also wanted the heart to overlap those 2 photo circles that are close by it there. So again, this is just personal preference. This is not a right or wrong. I think this is one of those kinds of projects that if you choose to do something like this, you're really just playing. Like there's a lot of play that goes in here, and a lot of kind of moving things around just slightly based on how they feel to your own eye, or based on how they feel in terms of your own level of organization. Like I'm sure there's some people who are like, oh my God, I can't deal with this. It's not structured enough. And there are other people that are like cheering because it's not structured. So that is just how it goes. One thing I noticed when I turned over that plus pattern paper was I forgot that it had like the light pink striped paper, and I kind of wished that I'd added that side of the plus on there as well, because I think it went well with the pink color or the pink heart on the bottom, but it's fine. I wanted to have them be like 3 of the same pattern. And then I went ahead and adhered those puffy stickers, the crepe paper puffy stickers, and I did link those for you guys in the supply list below. Did that, and then I am doing the journaling ones last. And then after that, I knew that I wanted to add some additional embellishments on there. So I started pulling out some of the things that I had. The crepe paper puffy stickers there have some small stars on them, small black and white stars. So I added those in between a few of the photos there, just in those white spaces, or in those gutters. We would also call that trapped white space, which I'm generally not a fan of, but it's working. At least it's working when I look at it right now. I also took the 2 the asterisks off of the chipboard alphabet set, and put those on a couple different places there on the page. I dug into my stash and pulled out some black and white word phrase stickers, added that onto the 2 plastic hearts that I had added onto circles. Cut another little piece of pattern paper because I wanted to have 3 of that same pattern. And so I just tucked that under one of the photos of the girls, and it lays on top of another one. And then I still knew that I wanted to add a few more things, and I thought about adding, these are those change circle stickers that I added on another one. And I think that I started to add one, and I can't remember if I ended up adding that one or not. There are things, looks like I didn't. There are things that I think I'm going to add and then I don't. I did add some of the puffy hearts from the kit are on there. Just looking for a few other little things, a few other little opportunities to embellish. I pulled out a couple chipboard circles. I think there's one that's going to say this life. There's an ampersand because that fits well with telling the story of the 2 girls, and it had kind of a yellow color, which I thought was a nice other one to bring back in. I did on the top of the journaling for the girls there, I did pink for one of them and yellow for the other one, so that was a nice opportunity to bring in one other little yellow thing. And then that that. Yes, that was the one I just added. The small chipboard circle was like a light pink. So another opportunity to kind of bring in that color as well. I had a super fun time working on this one. If you have any questions, please, as always, just let me know down in the comments below. Whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on my blog, happy to answer them for you. And don't forget a date.